mixed reception all across the board. How is it that a game with good story, great visuals, excellent sound, and an amazing soundtrack flop? We're here to find out. This is Mafia III. What up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Mike Fury, and I make videos to inform and entertain, so please hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. And as per usual, all of my reviews consist of the following: story, pros, cons, possibly a little bit of the weird, and finally, my final thoughts. So with that being said, guys, story. Lincoln Clay is an awesome protagonist. He's a Vietnam veteran suffering from PTSD, finally makes it home to his family in Louisiana, expecting to come home to a nice and relaxing time. But his family has mob ties. So before you can go ahead and clear the family's name and, go ahead and make everything clean on the books, you need to plan what's sort of this GTA heist-like event at the start of the game. And that's what's pretty cool. The game starts off on a really powerful note. There's a lot of money involved, and flash, everything goes down in flames. I won't give you guys too much details because it is a powerful moment, but it is a very dope scene, and you feel for Clay because his loss is very palpable and very powerful. So now, after the events of obviously the start of the game, you have a pastor who helps you recover from your injuries, and now it's time to get revenge. Not only on the people who have done you wrong, but also on the government officials who took part on this, and that's where the plot takes place as you start to take down this mob and help government officials do their due diligence. No, the story itself is good. I like it a lot. The voice acting is phenomenal. Let's just tell you all the good up front. The voice acting is phenomenal. The pacing is excellent. It's filled to the brim with awesome characters like CIA Donovan, Burke, who's part of the Irish mob, Vito Scaletta, who's the protagonist of the second game. He's part of the Italian mob, Cassandra, the Haitian mob, stir or mob boss, however you want to see it, and some more. I only wish that we got to spend more time with these characters because they seem to have a great amount of depth to them. The game just sadly doesn't bring it to the forefront. Besides that, you'll get to spend a little bit of time with them during these meetings and or cutscenes. Looks and or graphics, if you will. The looks are actually pretty good. It has a weather system. The different turfs that you find in the city, they all give off a different type of vibe. Like the Italian side won't be the same as the Haitian side, obviously, but it all gives a certain way, and the music itself and the way that the characters are actually portrayed are actually really darn good. Now, do keep in mind that half of the map is a bayou, which is a waste in a few instances, but I digress. The characters all look really good. Clay himself, from the different outfits that he can get to his scar, it's all really good and very well detailed. The supporting cast, the antagonists, all look good. Animations, although repetitive, do keep in mind, look good for the most part. Things have been patched. Do keep in mind, it has been patched to hell, because at the start a lot of people were complaining about frame rate and different issues like that. It has been patched and it looks really good now in 2020. You still have a little bit of pop in here and there depending on how fast you're going in your vehicle, but that happens. The world renders around you, and you guys already know they've been doing this since Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Now, what is boring is the gun design and the vehicles, even though there's some exotic vehicles here and there, but the gun design is so boring, yo. Like, you couldn't have done anything else to like make this a little bit more, like, I don't know how to say it, like a little bit more inviting. Like, every time I picked up a pistol or a certain shotgun or a certain type of gun, I was like, oh, okay, that's it. There's not really unique about that. It's not really well designed or like well detailed or anything like that. So I always complained about that. The light effects though, the facial motions are all great as well. Sonically, the game has a great soundtrack. Like I was saying earlier, the sound is so spot on in this game that it could only be compared to like the GTAs of the world and things of that nature. This sound is phenomenal. Do keep in mind that as you walk, you could also hear people talking in the streets. You could also, if you're in a barber shop, you can hear people talking. You can hear two ladies gossiping, things of that nature. You can actually capture all of that. Okay, so now that we got all the good out of the way, let's talk about gameplay here. And this is where you start to turn the good switch into the bad switch. All of the gameplay is an outright repetitive mess. This is how you just start throwing stuff at the wall, or you guys spent all the money and all the looks and the glamour and just making the engine look phenomenal, and now the gameplay is pure crap. And I say that with the heaviest of heart, because again, it's not a terrible game. It really isn't, but they dropped the ball on this one. So let's get into the nitty-gritty details. The most important part of the game, heavily influenced by GTA 5, it kind of doesn't have this Mafia, it doesn't have its own identity. So it's really influenced by GTA 5. They actually, all of the mob elements, they're all like very clear cut mission design. Two gameplay foundations. You add 3 different types of missions over and over and over and over again. That is basically it. So let's run it down, shall we? First, you gotta interrogate a persons of interest, destroy a mob property, or kill VIPs. That is all you're doing. So you interrogate somebody, you destroy some property, or you kill VIPs over and over. And then you unlock the district boss, and then you gotta kill him, obviously, and interrogate him, and then kill him, or whatever the case may be, in however order you want. That is the extent of the actual video game. Do keep in mind that they do have DLC, so we won't be talking about the DLC themselves, but that is what the base game offers. This game is such a chore to play. I've seen much more interesting things in my dishwasher. No lie. And not all is bad. Do keep in mind, there's at least a handful of good missions. Number 1, there is the intro mission, which is actually pretty cool. There's a KKK rally that is the most memorable part of the game. Steamboat sinking mission is awesome. I really did dig it. I thought it was very unique. And then finally, the raid redemption like building invasion that you will do. There's so a total of 4 unique and memorable missions in a 20-hour game. Lord have mercy. I had more fun feeding the crocs in the game bodies that I would just, go ahead and kill, throw them in the water, and just watch the crocs devour them. Yeah, that was much more enjoyable than doing half these missions. So I usually have a bad section, but this is the whole entire bad section. This is the bad section. The gameplay is so subpar. You have mob ties, but you really can't do much with them because there's no mafia members in the game. You can't hire hits on people. You can't do mob stuff. Like, there's no mafia in this. There's no money laundering. There's no drugs to sell. There's no strip clubs to have fun in. There's no gambling. What is supposed to be fun in a game where you're supposed to be a mob boss, but you can't do mob things? That's the question. So at the end of the day, it does a really good job in terms of presentation, audio, sound, the whole entire soundtrack, the dialogue, the actual graphics look good. But it's hollow. It's ugly on the ugly on the inside, beautiful on the outside type of thing. In conclusion, Mafia 3 the Definitive Edition isn't worth the asking price. Yes, it has upgraded visuals. Yes, it's a lot prettier to look at. But if it wasn't for the story, if it wasn't for the visuals and the awesome audio, it would be firewood territory, and that is the problem. The lack of gameplay, of innovation in the gameplay, just doesn't hold it up enough. As great as it looks, as awesome as the characters are, as great as the dialogue is, it's not underrated. It is rightly rated. It's a slightly above average game that it's pushed over. You imagine it didn't have any of those things that I've mentioned? You imagine that? This would be around the 2, 3, 4 territory, which is a terrible game. If you took away the awesome soundtrack and awesome audio and dialogue and the story itself, it would be terrible because that gameplay loop is horrendous. And I'm just being honest because it's so repetitive. So at the end of the day, guys, I give Mafia 2 a 6 out of 10 as well. I believe it to be a slightly above average game. Is it worth it? It's worth. And if you could find it for free, I got it for free, by the way, guys. And I was able to upgrade it. I upgraded to the Definitive Edition for free because they were giving it away for all the owners who already had it. I got it for free. I wouldn't pay $10 for this. I would just probably wait if it was on like a deep sale and definitely go ahead and grab it. Can it be fun sometimes? It could be fun sometimes, but those respites of fun, it's so like few and far between. Like it's just not there, and it doesn't hit the way that it thinks that it hits. Finally, is it for you? It's for people who like GTA style sandbox experiences. The thing is that it could be found at such a close price to a GTA that I would just recommend grabbing GTA. Now, if you really want to play something different that's not part of the GTA family, that's gonna have a couple of different mechanics, yeah, I would say go ahead and grab Mafia 3 if you can find it on a deep sale or for free. But other than that, guys, I really can't recommend this game knowing its huge faults. So finally, that is it for today, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, comment down below. Let me know if you enjoyed the video. Give me your thoughts. Give me some feedback. Put it down in the description below. Not in the description, I apologize. In the comment section down below. I would love to have a conversation with you guys. And as always, I'm your host, Mike Fury. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Links are down in the description below. Until next time, it has been my pleasure. Mike, off.